Well, we just got dropped off at Mooney Gap, where we stopped yesterday. And day 2 of our Appalachian Trail section hike is going to begin as we go north toward Albert Mountain. Today, the plan is to go from Mooney Gap to Winding Stair Gap, which is where we left our car. So today's hike is about 11.3 miles, and the toughest part of the hike is going to be early on as we go into and up to Albert Mountain. Just a beautiful morning to start out a hike. So we are in our first approach of Albert Mountain. We're about a half a mile in, and we got this really neat overlook here. Right on trail. We are about a half a mile from Albert Mountain, and we can see the lookout fire tower from the trail leading up to it. Climbing up toward Blood Mountain, and I know Albert Mountain, and I know that this doesn't look very steep, but you can see the top of the mountain that we're going up to. It's pretty much 0.3 straight up. But the reason I'm videoing is because this is a pretty cool upward climb with a rock at the top. So I'm gonna breathe heavy as I walk up these mountain stairs and until I get up to the top of this rock. So pardon my breathing. But we're taking it nice and easy because it's the first mile and a half of our day. This is quite the climb. It's so steep they even gave you a rope to help you get up it. Let's see how hard this is going to be for me as I try to catch my breath while I do it. You can see the view up here a little bit as we keep climbing up top of this thing. More switchbacks and rock climbing. Rock hopping continues on up there. Well, after a pretty hard, intensive climb, she's still smiling. We are at the top of Albert Mountain, and we are just below the fire tower, which is closed, but the views up here are spectacular. And this marks the 100-mile mark of the Appalachian Trail. And over here is the view And everybody always loves to walk around this tower to find the iconic 100-mile marker of the Appalachian Trail. And somebody has freshened it up. AT 100-mile mark. Right on the fire tower. And over here is the survey marker for the top of Albert Mountain. And if you want to read all these mountain ranges and the living laboratory information, you can pause the video here. And there's the view atop Albert Mountain. So a lot of times people call the Appalachian Trail the Green Tunnel, so I thought I would give an example of that as we are coming down off Albert Mountain. And this is why they call it the Green Tunnel, because it's got all the rhododendrons of the Laurel Hill, excuse me, the Laurel Mountain, here. And we are approaching the Big Springs Gap here. Well, I guess we are in that gap. And over here it gives you the distances. You can see here we're going to be going to the Glass Mine Gap here in a little bit. We're just enjoying this nice little green tunnel walk right now as we are coming down off Albert Mountain. And this is going to be like this for probably the next 2 to 3 miles. So just enjoying this cruisy trail right now. As you can see, Rae is already way ahead of me. I think I'm always going to remember Albert Mountain best by the hard climb when you're going northbound, but when you're coming southbound, this is probably the nicest part of the Appalachian Trail we have hiked up to this point. And of course, remember, we have cleared 100 miles as of the top of Albert Mountain, and right now we're at about AT miles 102.3, and this is really super cruisy. Well, we just finished eating lunch at a nice shelter called Long Branch Shelter. It was a double-decker built in 2012. Highly recommend that shelter. Had other camping spots for tents, but the water source there was spectacular. Ice cold water coming straight from a creek. We filled up and are enjoying some nice cold mountain water. Well, we made it to Glass Mine Gap, which is about 5 miles into today's hike, and it's really kind of a cool little area here. It's almost like surrounded by all these green mountain laurels. So we have hiked down into what's called Rock Gap, and you may be able to see all these rocks, good name for it. All these rocks we gotta walk over and through and beyond. All the rocks over here. Didn't know North Carolina was so rocky, but you gotta kind of watch your step because the trail is all rocks. So down here is the Rock Gap Privy, nothing special. Down over here is the Rock Gap Shelter. So let's walk this trail so we can walk the rocks for a couple minutes. See if we can get a better view of the shelter. And then a little bit, about another 1/10 of a mile beyond this Rock Gap Shelter area, There is a parking lot, and we've crossed that parking lot a couple times on some drives, and there was somebody there doing trail magic in that parking lot. So I'm not sure if they'll be there when we get there or not. If they are, maybe we'll say hi. I'm not sure how hungry we are because we just had lunch a little while ago. So may not be up to eating anything else if they're doing a hiker feed or trail magic. So let's see, I think I got a good shot view for the shelter. It's right down there. So we're coming out of Rock Gap, and because we're not in spring yet, we have a little bit of views that we get here. Well, we had a nice, refreshing, cool spot to get some water. This nice little pool, and they put up a spout. We refilled our bottles. We have now 3 liters of fresh, clean, cool mountain water. Raylene got a head start because these hills can get kind of hard after a while. Well, we're just about at the final part of this mountain out of Rock Gap, and we noticed that came out to this outcrop and just kind of sat and rested for a little bit. We can see Highway 64 over there, which is where we're going to be walking to Winding Stair Gap, and that's where we're going to be concluding our hike for the day. So we got about another 2 miles left, and we're going to knock it out. And if you look way down there, you can start to see a little bit of the outskirts of Franklin, North Carolina.